Hi, this is Dr. Sara Siddiqui, and I'm here today on behalf of Elwood Public Library for my monthly talk. And today we're going to talk about screen time in children and what we can do to help. Okay, so and I wanted to thank the Elwood Public Library for allowing me to be here and discuss screen time and make sure that we do everything that we can to help with our children and limit the use a little bit. So screen time in children, what can we do? Again, I'm Sara Siddiqui from the NYU Langone Huntington Medical Group, and I'm so happy to be here. So I have no disclosures to identify. Please discuss with your healthcare provider any specific issues you may be experiencing. And again, thank you to the Elwood Public Library for allowing me to speak on this issue. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me anytime. So screen time, research shows that children begin zooming in on digital media devices such as their parents' tablets or smartphones as young as 6 months old. And by their teens, we've found that kids spend nearly 7 hours a day using screen-based media, watching TV, playing video games, using social media, especially if they're having fun. Children might keep playing and watching. And sometimes their eyes can be affected, which we'll talk about a little bit. And this doesn't even include additional time spent using screens at school and for homework. So the current recommendations are from the American Academy of Pediatrics and WHO recommend no screen time for children under 2, except for FaceTime and video chatting with family. Ages 2 to 5, you want to try to limit to 1 hour a day together. I know this is hard right now, with sometimes some of the Zoom things that we have to do. So, but this is just a recommendation. I know. And for 6 and up, try to place consistent limits on screen time, and sometimes needs of screen time may be increased for school and homework, which we have been seeing, of course. So what can happen from too much screen time? So there are several things. According to the Mayo Clinic, there have been increases in weight gain or obesity in children, so secondary to their increased time on the screen or increased usage of media and devices. It decreases the activity level for children, and sometimes that can lead to increases in weight gain. Also, sometimes children tend to snack a little bit more. It's easy to be distracted while you're eating if you're on the screen while you're eating, and you lose kind of track of what you're eating and how much you're eating. So that can also lead to some weight gain. Sleep issues, it can definitely impact your sleep if you're using your phone or iPad, tablet right prior to sleeping, but even just accumulative during the day, that can impact your brain activity, and it can make it a little bit more difficult to sleep. Sometimes behavioral problems have been linked to increased screen usage. There's been more studies being done regarding the impact of increased screen time and hyperactivity and things like anxiety, depression. Some of these things have been linked to increased screen time, and also what the children or even adults are watching. Impaired academic performance. So sometimes if they're increased screen time or increased time on their devices, they may not be able to study as well, or they may not be able to perform and do the tasks that they need to do. Also, when they, sometimes there can be even addiction to screen time. So there's less time for play, or play is less interesting to them. So they may want to just stay inside and use their screen. Exposure to violence or more violence on the screen can also impact your child's health and and impact what they're watching. And then vision strain, which I will go into a little bit later, but the constant close-up media use can impact your vision, and it has led to changes in prescription in children that do use glasses. During the pandemic, we have been seeing increase in myopia, which is difficulty seeing, and increase in prescription strength. Language development for our younger children, language development, literacy skills, and expressive language can all be impacted by increased screen use, because it is really important to see faces, speak to people, and interact face to face. That's why screen time is sometimes can be used in a positive manner if they're using FaceTime or to speak with family members, especially for young children, that would be okay. But it is really important for language development for children to see faces speaking to them and they interact. So I did leave some references at the end, but tips to limit screen time. Definitely, it's important to try to limit it. It sometimes is difficult, but there are ways to do it. These are all tips from verywellfamily.com, which is a great website, lots of resources. So model healthy electronic use. I know sometimes for adults it's very difficult, but you do want to try to model healthy use for yourself, and that way your children will also model your behavior. That's very true for all sorts of parenting skills that you want to change in your children. You want to model the behavior. That's really important. Educate yourself on electronics, so make sure that you know what what different types of electronic use there is, and how to how to use it, and show your children that you're not like binge watching on Netflix, and make sure that you set limits on your own screen time, and that kind of helps you to educate your children. Create some tech-free zones, so establish like some areas in your home that you're not allowed to use technology, even for the adults. So let's say for the dinner table or in the kitchen, try to make sure that that's an area that is not used for screens, and set aside times to unplug also. So make sure not only just dinner time, but an hour before dinner, or maybe an hour after dinner. Make that open to where you're going to be discussing, or do a puzzle, start a game, maybe do an activity, and have that set time. It's going to take a little while to change those habits, but it's completely worth it. If you can do it. And then use some parental controls. If your children are younger, you want to make sure that you have, there are plenty of apps and things like that that kind of control how much screen time your children have, and make sure that they limit the time. Of course, they are going to need to be on their devices for school and homework, but you can kind of reduce the amount of extra time that they may use, and explain it to them. Explain what the reasons are that you are trying to limit the screen time. It can be very addicting if they're on it. They're not really aware of the time that passes. They may not do certain activities because they're on the screen. Maybe they enjoy certain activities outdoors, but they're not doing it because they want to just stay on the screen, and it's very easy to get lost in time. Try not to make it too much of a punishment when you're removing the screen time, or when you're kind of limiting the screen time, and try to limit your own screen time as well. And just to see what your children are on during, when they're online, you want to ask or request your child's password. Make sure that you know. A lot of cyberbullying can be taking place without you knowing, and so it is important to kind of review some of the things that your child may be exposed to online, and what they're watching, of course, is very important. And then again, encourage other activities. You want to be really make sure that you are doing outdoor type activities. Even when it's starting to get cold out now, you still want to continue having some activities outdoors. And make screen time a privilege. So there's a typo there, but make screen time a privilege. So make it like a treat, something that they're rewarded for. or something that they earn, and make it a treat for yourself too. And you want to make sure that you're keeping some areas of the home, again, keep the bedroom screen free if possible. And the AAP, the American Academy of Pediatrics website called healthychildren.org, has a fabulous media use contract that you can use. So it kind of it's a contract that you sign in, you sign it, your child signs it, and it basically kind of just lets them know some of the parameters that they should use to go on media, and make sure that they follow that. There is a little bit of construction going on in my house. I'm sorry. I apologize. And then another really big reason why it's really important to take breaks from screen time is for your eyes. So make sure that you're taking breaks. COVID-19 and online learning has led to children's eye health issue. So with COVID-19 and the shift to online learning, children are spending even more time looking at screens. So screen time limits are also being increased in many families to help children stay entertained and socialize with friends virtually as they spend more time at home to prevent the spread. So basically all this makes it especially important to take steps to prevent tired and sore eyes in children. So I'm going to go through some of that. Take a break for your eyes. There's eye fatigue, blurry vision, dry eyes that can happen from extended time on the screen. And then make sure that you do the 20-20-20 rule. So I forgot to include that, but I wanted to. So 20-20-20 rule is essentially where every 20 minutes you look up and look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And that really helps to reduce some of the eye strain that we can have. These are some of the references that I used to come up with this quick talk regarding screen time. Of course, if you have any questions, I apologize for the extra noise in the background. I don't know if it really came through or not, but I'm sorry about that. But thank you so much. I really think that this is a really important topic. I think it's really important for us to kind of work together and try to reduce as much screen time as we can. I know it's difficult because I know with my children, they're using a lot of their time on the screen to do homework on their Chromebook, and they need to be on the screen for a long period of time. And then it's very easy to kind of lose track of time and start binge watching your favorite Netflix show. So we need to take care of our eyes, our brain, and our mental health, and make sure that we're doing all the things we can to help keep our kids healthy and ourselves healthy. So again, thank you so much. I'm so happy that I was able to talk about this, and let me know if you have any concerns or questions. Thank you.